Hello, my name is Mary Malik, and I'm here today to show you guys how constructors work, what they are, and why we use them, so why they're helpful. So go ahead and open up C#, and I'm just going to create a small little program. Just going to space that out a bit. Okay, so what are constructors? Constructors are a special method that don't have a return value, and they're basically made when you create a class. So right over here, you see our class. So a constructor can be made. So constructors do not have any return value, so such as void, and you do not need to call a constructor. You only need to create an object inside the main program, and the constructor will run, and they have to have the same name as the class. So see over here at class program, our constructor has to be called public program or private program. So it has to have an access modifier, but it doesn't have to have a return value. To begin with, we're going to create the constructor. So we're going to call it public program. Okay, there we go. Now inside the main method, we're going to not necessarily call it, but create an object which will allow the method to run instead of actually, as I'll show you guys later. So my program, and this is, we can call it anything. So I'm going to call it car equals new program. There we go. So there we go. And now inside here we can write console.write line, and we can say hello world 2014. Okay, and let's run it. Oop, that was really quick. And you forgot to write console.readline. There we go. Now see, hello world 2014. You click F11. Yeah, I'm just gonna minimize this a bit. Okay, so click F11. There we go. So you see the main, so the program jumps right into the bracket. The main method goes, reads this object, program car equals new program, and click it again. See, it jumps right into the constructor method. So when it jumps in, it goes inside, it reads hello world 2014, and see, there you go, it displays it. Now, okay, so now it goes back into the main method, reads program car equals new program, and then reads console.readline, and there we go. And then that's it. So that's a quick understanding on how constructors work. Okay, so now I'm going to show you another example of constructors. So I'm going to create a class, car, and then I'm going to create the instance, so the object. We call it car. I'm going to call it functions equals to new car. Okay. So inside here, I'm going to create a constructor. So I'm going to call it public car. So there we go. And inside here, I'm going to initialize some properties to the car. So I can initialize it outside of the constructor. So now I'm going to create public int year brackets get set row, and then public string model get set, and then last one, public string type do get set. So I'm just declaring, that's just properties that I made. And inside here, I'm going to write this year. So you see it pops up, this dot type pops up, and this dot model pops up. And do this year equals to 1997, or whatever you'd like to call it. It's going to be a really old car. And then I'm going to do this dot model is going to be a class, and this dot type is going to be a Mercedes Benz. Okay, and now I'm just going to write console dot right line the year the car was made in this year, semicolon, and basically I'm just going to copy and paste it, do it again, and just change what's inside here. The model of the car is, change that to model, change that to type, and type of car is, there we go. And then inside the main program, we're going to console dot new line, and yep, and see, there you go. It reads the year the car was made in 1997. The model of the car is a class. The type of car is Mercedes-Benz. So there we go. And now I'm going to show you how to use inheritance. So I'm just gonna and we're going to call it class student. There we go. And inside here we're going to write public student, and we can just do something really simple. Console dot. Oh, before we do that, go in the main method and going to write student, new student, kid, or we can write a name, Miriam equals new student. Okay, and here we're going to write console dot right line equals the student name is Miriam. Okay, and we're going to create another class. We're going to call it student2. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to inherit the symbol right here, means we're inheriting from another class, which is student class. So in here we're going to write public student2 And we're going to write console.write line. Alright, the student name is Eamon. Okay, and write console.readline. Should you forget that, and we're going to run this program. And it just writes oh, and why didn't it run? The reason it didn't run is because we didn't create an instance, so an object. Student to Eamon equals new student. Okay, now we're gonna run it. Oh, gave me an error because I used the semicolon. Okay, and it's still giving me an error because I didn't write 2. Silly me. Oh no. Hi. There we go. Now I didn't hear it. So I'm going to show you guys F11 how this worked. Okay. So F11 jumps into the main program. Sorry, there you go. Goes to student, and then it jumps in to the constructor, goes inside, reads the student name as Miriam, displays it, goes back to the main method, reads student 2, and it jumps in to the class, to the constructor student 2, and then since we inherited it goes back. Since we inherit student 2 from student, it's gonna jump to this constructor, and it's going to display it again. Student name is Miriam, as you see, it displayed it. And then it jumps back into student to the constructor, and then it displays the student name is Eamon. And then it goes back to the main program, goes to the object, and then reads console.readline, and there we go. So that's basically inheritance with constructors. And so basically why we use constructors is because if we use normal methods, sometimes we forget to call the method. So for example, change this code up a bit. Just going to take the inheritance out. I would actually not have the same name as the class. I can call it anything, so I can say first name. And I will public void. Now you use void since it's a normal method and it does have a return value. So write console.writeLine, the student name is Miriam. Up here you write Miriam dot first name. You see first name comes up, and just close it. And there we go. And then write console.readline. Okay, run the program. And I'm using an error because this is not capital. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, and there's the student name is Miriam. So for normal methods, you have to call the method, which we did right over here. This was our instance, so our object, and we only need to to use this object for a constructor. But for a normal method, we have to use this, and we also have to call out the method. So that's why constructors are more easier to use, because sometimes we forget to call the method and it will run. But for methods, we sometimes forget and the program's not running, and we're basically trying to figure out why it isn't running, and the answer's right there because we didn't call it. So that's one way you can put it. And another reason is that we wrote less lines of code. So for constructors, we didn't even need to write this, or we didn't even need to write this. That's all we need. And I made a mistake. I forgot to change it just to student. There we go. And as you see, it will run. So that's basically the functions of a constructor and why we use it. So thank you all for listening. Bye.
Hey,
But like I'm gonna okay, so today's lesson we're gonna learn about constructors. Oh man, no, they need to be quiet or else trust me, guys. Today's lesson we're gonna learn about constructors. So what is a constructor? To be honest, yeah, number two. I'm not that scared. I know what to expect. First time being really scared. Yeah, I was a little bit in denial because I didn't know what I was going to expect, and it was way worse than what I expected. Is your fashion room quiet? Can I come? Bye, guys. Okay, I'm coming to fashion room. What? No, don't worry, I'll finish this like in 5 minutes. It's gonna be like a 5-minute. It's not recording. It's so funny. Create this little program about constructors, and yeah, they just keep on talking, and everyone's voice is recording.
Seems like I'm coming to the fashion room. Yeah, and I found one else. Hey, I don't have
No, I literally need quiet, like absolute dead silence. Okay, I'm gonna learn this cat fashion, okay?
Constructors.
Ceremony, that citizens please compliance ceremony device, please.
God, yo, that's what I can't forget. My first counselor.
Okay.
Are you recording?
Literally, I just need 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I love you. Okay, no, just need 5 minutes. Sure. Okay. Don't stare at me while I'm talking. I'm trying to make a video.
It's double-sided.
Okay. So today's video we're gonna learn about constructors. Okay. So what? Why are you laughing? No. No, I don't want to. I should do like, hi, I'm Miriam and I'm from World Visual Studio. Whoa. Hi, my name is Miriam and I'm from Learn Visual Studio. It's already recording, so I'm gonna cut out parts, and every part that sounds good, I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, so that's why I'm letting it record, so if I make a mistake, it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. So basically what are constructors? Constructors are basically special methods that are made when you create a class or a struct. So as you see right now, this is our class called program, and inside of the class, we're going to create a constructor. So you can use, so we're going to write public, and we can write any access modifier, so public or private, and then create program. In brackets, you have to remember the constructor has the same name as the class program. Okay. Okay, so inside the program, inside the class, we're going to write in the main program an object. Huh? So, like, I have to do this. I'm going to put it up on YouTube. Hmm?
Put a couple jokes in there, you know? Throw a couple puns in there. Yeah, you know, like, oh, constructors, like, I don't know, what kind of you like hello world.
No, I'm writing hello world in this. I'm actually, you guys think I'm joking? I did it last night too, but it was really bad.
Yo, man, I don't fuck with you.
You guys want to join robotics? Anyone?
What are you doing about it?
Oh, it's just night school robotics. So basically, you like build a robot and then you go into competitions.
What if you don't know shit about it? Oh, no shit.
They'll teach you. Like, they'll teach you.
Yeah, no, just go, man. I need that shit
Okay, so we're gonna create an object just to declare the constructor, so it will run, and if you don't create it, the constructor won't run. So inside here, we're gonna write program, and we can call this anything. So let's just call it
I heard I'm gonna call construction.
ABC, and create new program. And the brackets. And there we go. Okay, so that's our instance. So instance or object. And now inside the constructor, we're going to write console.writeLine. And inside here, we're going to write hello world. So basically what's going to happen is when you run the program, it's going to go to the main method, and then it's going to read this line. It's going to know that you're declaring a constructor. It's going to go to the constructor, and then it's going to read console.writeLine hello world. It's going to jump out, it's going to go back to the main method, main program, and then it's going to write console.readLine, so we're going to be able to read it. So I'm going to run it. Oops, there's an error. Where is that error? There we go. And there we go. You see, it displays hello world.
What are you doing, man?